Butter traces back many, many years. It was once used as cough medicine and spread on aching joints in ancient Rome, and as an offering to royalty in India. In the Bible, it was first mentioned when Abraham and Sarah offered 3 visiting angels a feast of meat, milk, and the creamy yellow spread. It is believed butter was mistakenly made when a herder was making a long journey with his sheep. The herder strapped a sheepskin container of milk to the back of one of his sheep and found that the warm, jostled milk curdled and became something remarkably tasty. The Great Depression and World War II challenged America's love affair with butter. The turmoil brought shortages and rationing and margarine. Margarine, which is a butter substitute, is made with unhealthy and harmful vegetable oil and yellow food coloring. It became a cheaper option for American families, and butter consumption took a nosedive. Since then, however, butter has staged a comeback. It is easy to make and tastes better than anything you can purchase in a grocery store. Many people know that butter can be made from cow's milk, but it can also be made from other animals such as sheep and goats. My goats are not currently producing milk, so for the butter I am making today, I am using 2 cups of store-bought cow's milk cream. If you are using store-bought cream, make sure it does not say ultra-pasteurized on the label. Ultra-pasteurized means it has been heated to extreme temperatures and kills all enzymes needed to make butter or other things. Ultra-pasteurized is not healthy. Avoid using this. When making butter, you need to use the cream. Cream comes from the milk, but the cream needs to be separated from the milk. With cow's milk, it is pretty easy to milk the cow and let it sit in the refrigerator to get ice cold. The cream will rise to the top and it can be skimmed off. The separation isn't as easy with goat's milk. However, cream separation machines can be used to quickly separate the milk from the cream. Once you have the cream, you need to make sure it is the correct temperature. With cow's milk, it needs to be between 62 and 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't heat this, just let it come to the correct temperature slowly by setting it on the countertop. For goat's milk, it needs to be ice cold when you start the butter process. When the temperature is correct, pour into a bowl and mix. I am using a hand mixer only because I currently have electricity. If I didn't have electricity, I would use one of the other methods available. One of those other methods is using a quart-sized canning jar. Fill it halfway and shake it. It's a good arm workout. You will be shaking for at least 15 to 20 minutes. It's always helpful to have another person to take over when your arms get too tired. Another way you can make butter is with a hand crank churn. The brand that I have is Kilner. They are expensive, but it does take a little bit of time off the shaking of a jar. Using a hand mixer is easy. You could use a stand mixer, but I highly recommend not using a Vitamix. I've done this and failed because it heats the cream so quickly. With my hand mixer, I have this handy slide-on lid. This makes it much easier when the butter begins to form. It tends to want to splatter everywhere, and the slide-on lid helps keep it inside the bowl. When you first begin to mix, it will start to get thicker. After about 4 minutes on high speed, you will have a thick mixture. This is actually whipped cream. It is some of the best Cool Whip you will ever taste. If this is what you are wanting, add vanilla and powdered sugar and mix just until blended. Don't add these 2 ingredients if you want to continue to butter. After mixing another 2 minutes, you will begin to see that the mixture is once again separating. When it separates, you will have butter and buttermilk. You will know when to stop mixing when it starts to splatter. I can see it splattering on the underside of the slide-on lid. Remove the mixer and pour as much of the buttermilk off as you can. If you have too much buttermilk mixed in with the butter, it will spoil more quickly. A lot of people will wash the butter under running water. However, I prefer not to do this. I concentrate on getting as much of the buttermilk out as possible. Here I am letting the buttermilk drain. I set the bowl up on the side of a dish, push the butter to the top, and let it drain. Once that has drained for about 10 minutes, I take little bits of the butter and squeeze. Then it's time to salt. If you want unsalted butter, you can skip this. However, the salt does help draw out any remaining buttermilk. I usually like to add about 1 teaspoon of salt per cup of cream I begin with. Mix it in well. I again let this drain on a slope. Once this is complete, I take the butter out and put it onto a piece of wax or parchment paper. I begin to shape the butter with the parchment paper. I shape it into a block and wrap it. I make sure to label the butter with the date and if it is salted or unsalted. You can put this in the fridge to make it immediately usable, or put it in the freezer for longer storage. You can also make ghee from butter, which is shelf stable without refrigeration for several months. Making your own whipped cream, sour cream, yogurt, cheese, ghee, and butter is easy. It just takes a few steps and you can be eating healthier without added preservation ingredients commonly found in products purchased at a grocery store. I encourage you to take these steps and try it for yourself. Thank you for watching this video. Please continue to help me help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.